Hiya peeps, it's me, Karen Frost, and I am back again. Yoo-hoo! Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited. I'm excited to bring you this video because this was my all-time favourite set I ever designed. I didn't film when I first did it, and I did it on my own hands, and I got quite a few requests to make a video on it, and for whatever reason, you know, sick, time, forgot. Anywho, it's been a very, very, very long time. I think it's like 2 years, or yeah, something like that. It's really been a long time since it was requested for me to do it again, and I finally did it, and I thought I'd show you. This is how I did the set. So whilst I've been waffling, I was showing you what I was using and putting down my clear base, but you all know about that stuff anyway. Seen it all before, haven't you? And I'm at the stage where I am placing my nail bed colour down. Now it's not a standard sort of French nail bed. It's like a swoopy, sidey, curvy shape, because that's the technical term. I really don't know what else to call it. But later on in the video, you'll see that I totally botched this little finger and ended up redoing it. But I will go through that when we get there. Just a little, you know, warning. But I'm showing you because, you know, like I said before in my other videos, it doesn't always go according to plan. That's life. You just gotta roll with it. I'm proper on one this morning. I'm sorry. You have to excuse me. So I'm doing another nail bed colour, but this is your standard French type nail bed, extended nail bed. Yes, I'm using my brush and I'm shaping it as best I can with the brush so that I have less to do, making sure I've got that cuticle area nice and neat. And now you'll see I'm going to apply it on the thumb as well. So I apply my bead, I push back to the cuticle first, make sure it's nice and thin and nice and flat and nice and neat, and then I'll start going round the edge to make my wall. I've added another bead, and again making sure my cuticle area is tip top, and use my brush to sweep around that edge and get it as neat as possible. That way filing it in doesn't take much at all. I probably could have got away with not filing it in, to be honest, but I really wanted some really crisp sharp lines, so yeah, I filed it in. I'm applying some black acrylic on the index finger at the tip area, fading that back towards the cuticle end, making sure it's nice and thin and that the fade is a fade, because I do want to do an ombre. Now, black and red ombres are the hardest to do ever. Any nail tech will tell you that. They are very, very strong colours, so blending them is a feat, let's just say that. So if you try this, bear in mind it's really hard, but just do the best you can. That's what I do. I go with the red and I go back to the black, and then I go back to, you know, just switch and change between the colours and blend it as best you can. But you will have to use it wet, you know, wet and thin. That's the best advice I can give you for blends, wet and thin, because that way you can put on more layers as you need. Because if you put on a big thick layer with your first bead, then the nail's got to be huge, so don't do that. And you can always add glitter to sort of mask it a bit. That's not what I was doing here. I didn't want to mask it, but I did want this glitter swoosh because glitter's pretty. So I'm using the black dotted glitter on the red end and then the red dotty glitter on the black end, because I thought that would be a nice contrast. There is a method to my madness, I promise. On the ring finger, I'm doing a full nail of black. Black is a bugger. It's so pigmented, and it gets everywhere. It absolutely gets everywhere. Oh, this tip of the nail was really getting on my nerves. It had this little lump of tip, because it was a part of the tip sticking out, so it wouldn't get covered by the black. It was really bugging me, but yeah, anyway, moving on. Let's not go into that frustration. I will cap that glitter now and my ombre, because I want to protect them, and I do want to be able to shape and file my nail and give it structure and strength, you know, all the good stuff. So I'm just capping that, and I know it looks like I'm being really weird and picking imaginary stuff off the nail, but I promise there was a bit of fluff or fibre of some sort on the end of the nail that was bugging me, so I had to remove it. But I've noticed on the video you can't see it, so I look insane. But not saying I'm not insane, but I am saying there was something there. Oh, this is going to be a fun voiceover, isn't it? I've lost the plot, and I'm voiceovering whilst I've lost the plot. Yeah, clever, Karen, clever. Anywho, I shall try and compose myself. I'm filing in that smile line because I want it to be nice and crisp. Of course, who doesn't like a nice and crisp smile line? As you can see, I hopefully you can see when I was turning the hands to the side that I've built my wall up nicely, ready to butt my colours up against. And it's not taking too much filing to get them nice and sharp. So dust them off, get all that dust out of the way. And then you'll see, yep, I dampen the nails down with a bit of monomer on my brush, and then I'll go in with my colours. I tend to keep one pot of monomer for my clear, so for when using clear acrylic, and I keep another pot of monomer for when I'm using colours. That way, if I do manage to get a bit of colour from the coloured acrylics into my monomer, it doesn't then discolour my clear, because I've got a separate pot for my clear, if that makes sense. So just a little tip. And I only ever put a small amount of monomer in my dishes at a time, so that I'm not throwing away loads and loads of monomer, because once it's contaminated, you know, you've dipped your brush and it's got a residue of acrylic powder on it, you know, it will contaminate, you know, so you don't want to keep using it. So, and you don't really want to be throwing away a whole pot of monomer, because that's just a waste of money. So yes, don't put in loads, just put in what you need and keep two, so your clear will always be nice and clear. I hope that made sense. It made sense in my head, but I'm not sure it made sense when I was saying it. Oh well, never mind. As you can see, I am literally fighting with this red, and it is getting everywhere. Oh my giddy aunt. These highly pigmented colours, red and black, are probably the worst to work with, and I'm using them both because I'm really smart. Why not make your life even harder, Karen? Yes, use the two hardest colours to work with. Well done. Well done. But I mean, I absolutely love this set. It was worth it. It was worth the hassle. It was worth the ag, and it was worth the time, because these did take me quite some time, I'm not gonna lie. It is a time consuming set. There's a lot of elements in it. It's quite a busy set. Every nail's got something on it. Excuse me. So yeah, it's not your average bash out in the salon type of set. This is definitely a custom set that you should charge loads and loads of money for if you do it. And if you do it, please tag me. I'd love to see your version. I'd absolutely love to see your version if this inspires you to do a set like this. Please tag me, please, please, please. Oh, yes, I'm using that netting stuff now. So as you can see, I'm sort of lining it up to make sure I've got the width right. So I want to get it in there. And I put on a bit of clear like I would normally, and I try and hold it down. But my lovely Handolly doesn't have any heat in her hands, so the acrylic is taking forever to set up, and I'm like, this stuff's not sticking! Oh my god! So I get the glue out because, yeah, as you look, you can see I'm fighting with it. It's like, dude, stay down! Not staying down. So out comes the glue, good old glue, and then hold it. Because again, the glue takes longer to dry as well because no heat in Handolly's hands. I could put a heat pad underneath her, which would help. So may do that. But I think next time I'll just go straight in with the glue, make life easier. Oh yes, blood rose time. I really like doing these. They're so cool. So I'm using just a tiny brush. It's a 3D brush. I gave one of these to my lovely friend Jess. They're gorgeous. I ruined mine. I'm so gutted. I absolutely ruined mine because I bought two. I tend to buy two of things because, yeah, in case of events such as what happened. But I had other one anyway. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I sent one to Jess and she loved it too. But yeah, this one's been binned because I trashed it. I'm using a different one now. Oh my gosh, I'm so sidetracked. Moving on to the flower, Karen, please. Tiny beads, let them set up slightly and then press them out. Now, when I say tiny, I mean teeny, 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 tiny beads, and press them flat because you're going to encapsulate. These are not 3D on top, these are encapsulated. Teeny, tiny beads, and again, because there's no heat to the silicone hand, I'm able to do quite a few beads at a time, and they're just, you can see they're not setting up fast at all. I've got plenty of time to play. So as they start setting up, press them out just like that, gently, nice and flat, and you get a pretty flower. This is such a cool technique. It really is so effective. Love encapsulating stuff and 3D flowers. Oh, so pretty. Again, two tiny beads, make them into half moons and then press them out. Now, I pressed that one when it was a bit too soft and I didn't really get a good imprint from the brush on it, but never mind. Again, teeny tiny bead. I sort of wiggle my brush in the middle to make it sort of come out, if that makes sense, and then a teeny tiny bit of glitter in the middle. So I thought, why not? And now I'm adding a few little petals or leaves just to fill the space a bit. Yeah, half circle. No, I didn't do a half circle, did I? No, because they were just leaves, I sort of make one end pointy, just start pressing it out and then made one end sort of pointy. That's what I did, yeah. I think I'm going to add some glitter now, if I remember rightly. Yes. So tiny bit of clear into the raw glitter, just add it where needed. And if you get it on your flower, get it off. Like that. These wayward pieces of glitter getting everywhere. Like, no, I don't want you on the flower. I want you on the black background. Get off. So cap that, protect it. Use a nice wet bead so that it sinks into all of the little crevices and doesn't give you air bubbles. It does look a bit thick, doesn't it? But it'll be fine once I file it. I'm just making sure that I've capped it really well because I don't want to file into it. back to the netting now that it's stuck on and the glue's dried. Cut off the excess. Oh, add a bit more glue, Karen. There you go. Apparently the edges were sticking up, so I stuck a bit more glue on. And now I'm going to cap that netting just as it is. I thought it just looked really pretty just like that. Just black against the red. I think it looks really nice just like that. But I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm going to do something else. Because this set is proper extra. It is. It really is. It's just an extra set. Go all out on this one. Well, you got to do these things sometimes. I mean, when I did them on my hands, oh my god, I loved them. I absolutely loved them, and to this date, they are remaining my #1 favourite set of nails that I ever did. So now that bit of red acrylic that I bited up to the nail bed colour is hardened enough that I can file it in. Make my lines nice and sharp, of course. And on the thumb, I've gone in with the opposite colour. So it's the black. Again, file that in. I've got nice sharp wall to butt up to, so when I do my reveal file, I've got nice sharp lanes. Sorry about the going out of shot, and sometimes it goes blurry. I don't know, the camera is on autofocus and sometimes it focuses on the background instead of the foreground what I'm doing, so I'm really sorry about that. There's not a lot I can do about it, to be honest, because if I set it on manual and I move, it will go out of focus anyway, so autofocus is the only way I can do it. Sorry, I'm trying. So yes, I will use the black now and butt it up against the red. Make my swooshy, semicircle-y shape. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to call it. I really don't. Is there a word? Is there a word for this? If you know that this is called something, this style, let me know so that I actually know what to call it, because I have no idea. Absolutely none. Well, that's clearly evident. I'm sure you gathered that by now. So I'm just, with my red, applying that, busting it up, trying to get it nice and neat, well, as neat as I can with my brush. If I go over, it's not such a big deal because it will be, you know, I am going to file it to reveal the lines before I cap, so not such a big deal. But yeah, try and neaten it as much as you can with your brush. It just means you've got a bit less to do, filing wise, of course. So I waited for those to dry. When I say dry, that's not the right term. The correct term is polymerize, but yeah, it kind of sounds a bit pompous, but yeah, it's polymerized. So it hardens when it polymerizes. Anyway, I'm waffling again. File it in once it's hard. I'm just going to say once it's hard, because everyone's going to know what I'm talking about. Get it nice and sharp again. Dust it off. And then dampen it down, and then I can go in with the next part. Now you'll notice that sort of when I'm filing, there's a bit of kitchen roll underneath, and then when I'm applying, you know, colours or what have you, acrylic to the nails, the kitchen roll's disappeared. That's because I've used the kitchen roll to cover my powders and my liquid to make sure no filing dust gets in it, because I don't want that to ruin everything. So I'm just literally tiniest bead of acrylic, clear acrylic, dipping into the raw glitter, getting that on the nail, getting it as flat as possible, patting it down, and then capping the lot to protect it, of course. don't want to follow on the lovely glitter, it's too pretty. And again, I've sort of alternated colours, so it was red next to the nail bed colour, then black, so then I used the red glitter, and on this this finger it's the opposite. I've gone with black next to the nail bed colour, then red, then using the black glitter. Kind of opposites. I think it looks nice that way. So again, it's just tiny bead of acrylic. Oh my god, I've lost my ability to talk. Tiny bead of clear acrylic. Pick up your raw glitter and get it on the nail. Just get it on there. Pat it flat. Make sure it sits nice and flat. Fill up all your gaps. I wasn't going for a clear tip or anything like that, so I'm filling all the gaps in with the glitter. I want it totally glittered out. So like now, I'm not adding any more acrylic. I'm using my damp brush to just pick up the glitter and pat it in, because there's already acrylic there, to just no need to add any more. And then cap. Nice decent layer. Cap it all, get it protected. Make sure you get right up the side walls. Cover it, all of it, right the way around the sides. Don't want to miss a bit out. If you're doing this on a person, that would be your weak, stress point kind of area. If you don't get enough on the sides by the free edge, especially where the free edge leaves the finger, it can get a lot of stress on that area, and if you've got a gap there, it's a lot more likely to break, basically. So between that and your oh my god, I've lost my ability to think as well. So between that and your apex, that's, you need the strength in those places. So it's time for the reveal. So I've got my trusty e-file out. Oh no, it's not time for the reveal. This was where I said, I said I totally botched the little finger and redid it. I'm showing you because, well, I don't know why I'm showing you my mistakes, because it's a mistake. But I'm showing you because I'm real and these things happen and there are ways to fix it. I did the circly, I don't know what to call it, the swoopy nail bed circle type area. I did it the wrong way, because one end is shorter than the other as it goes round. So it goes deeper towards the cuticle area one end and not as far down the other side of the nail. Now I swooped it in the wrong direction, so the thickest part, the widest part I should say, was on the wrong side of the finger, if you know what I mean, because I did the little finger and the thumb opposite directions. But when I first did the little finger, I got carried away and did it the same direction as the thumb, which was wrong. And then when I noticed, I was repeed, and rather than just leave it like that because I'm so extra, I took it off. Yeah, so I got the e-file out and I e-filed that sucker off, and I'm redoing it because I am extra and I wanted it to be perfect. Not that anything is actually perfect, but I wanted it as perfect as I could get it. But you'll also notice that I didn't file it in, because by then I'd lost the will to live. So I didn't file these in. I just boshed the colour on, made it as neat as I could with my brush, and went in with the next colour, and again made it, as you can see, I'm making it as neat as I can with my brush. And then when I'm finished with this, I'm going to put the glitter on again, but I'm not filing it. Oh no, I am filing it in. Oh look, I couldn't get it neat. Oh look, I didn't get it as neat as I wanted to, so I did have to wait. And I did have to wait. I don't like waiting, but yeah, I did have to wait for this to dry and then come back to it. Blooming nail. Can't believe I've ruined it, but such is life. I'm sorry I'm out of shot, but you've seen me apply the glitter to the tip before. I'm just doing it again. So, red to match the first colour that I applied. And then I shall cap it, and then we can do the reveal, finally. Don't know what was going on with that bit of glitter, but it was like a chain of silver ones that hadn't been broken apart. But I thought it looked really cool, so I left it in there rather than take it out. Cap that, protect it, yes. Right up the sides. Totally lost the shape on this now, but I will get it back. I will get the shape back. The frustration with this nail, I tell you. Oh. Right, yes, time for filing. So, in with the hand file, shape my sidewalls, get them nice and straight, taper them in slightly where I've, the nails sort of flared out a bit whilst applying the acrylic. Taper it in, get it nice and straight. And again, I'm out of shot. I do apologise. I will come back in shot. Oh, Karen, get back in shot, dude. There we go. Yes. So again, all the nails. I go through all the nails one by one, sidewalls, 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 and then I'll do the next part of my filing, if that makes sense. You can just, go through and do one nail at a time, all of the steps, but I decided on this occasion to file all my sidewalls first and use my e-file because my hands were cramping so bad. You can see I keep switching position of my hands where I'm holding, and yeah, it was killing me. So I decided to go in with the e-file and save my fingers. So I will go around the cuticle area first, get that nice and flush. Not that I don't actually have a step there. My application was quite flat towards the cuticle area, so it's not so bad. The problem that I had was where I had the nail guards on top of the base nail of Handolly, it was kind of bumpy from the nail guard. It wasn't my application, it was from the nail guard just being a bit lumpy and bumpy. So I'm whizzing around. You can see me taking off right there. There was a bit of nail guards that was getting on my nerves, so I filed it off. Do be careful once using your e-file, and if you have an e-file, I recommend getting some training. I used an e-file for donkey's years without training. I basically trained myself and used it on myself, and I was fine. But I tell you what, go and do the training. It is worth doing the training because I learned so much on my training course. I did one with the lovely Amanda Graves. She lives near me because I live near Croydon in London, and yeah, I trained with Amanda Graves and she taught me, and it's just like amazing. Do a course. It's worth every penny. Do a course because she taught me how to use that baby on full power, full blast. Because what you don't realize when you're a home user and you're not a nail tech is that you think, oh, I'll only use it at sort of 10,000, 15,000 RPM, maybe 20 if you're brave. But certain bits are made to be used at full power. So you whack it right up to that 30,000 RPM and you go for that, baby. Especially if you're taking down bulk or, redesigning. So you need to take off all of the acrylic. Go in. And then for like things like this, 15,000 RPM, it's fine. That's perfectly fine because you're shaping, you're not trying to take away loads of acrylic. And it cut my filing time down so much. Once you know how to use the tools correctly, tell you what, it makes a huge difference. So yeah, I got qualified as a nail tech, and then I did my training in the e-file because obviously you have to be a nail tech before you can have e-file training. Anyway, I digress. Get some e-file training is what I'm saying. Moral of the story, get your e-file training, it's worth it. So I'm just whizzing round, smoothing, taking down any bulk that needs to be done, and doing my reveals. I'm sorry I waffled right through one of the reveals, but you will have another one on the thumb. My fingers and my hands were giving me so much trouble that day. I usually finish file with a hand file. This time, couldn't do it. Oh, here's the reveal. Look. So satisfying. Look at that. Those lines look lovely. Lovely and crisp. Who doesn't love a good reveal? I'm sorry I waffled through the first one. I mean, I know I've already said that, but, you know, I am. So, yeah, this is the sanding band that I would normally finish file, but I'm using instead because my hands just weren't having any of it. And now I'm doing a lovely 3D flower, quite flat on the nail. Ooh! So it's opposite to the blood nail. Well, actually it's not, it's completely different actually. In with tiny beads, get them into a semicircle, let them start to polymerize, you know, when they go matte, and then start pushing them out. This leaf type one I'm bringing to a point, so I'm not putting it into a semicircle, bring it into a point and then flattening down. Needs to add a bit more, I wasn't happy with that one. And now I've double dipped, so I dipped into the red and then a tiny bit of black. I've put those onto the nail. And I'm using my cuticle pusher to put in some little lines for the leaves. I like a little bit of detail. And if you notice, the longer I leave the beads to polymerize, the better the imprint my brush gives on them. It retains that imprint, and I think that makes it look really nice. It kind of gives it some texture. So I'm adding a couple of more little leaves, and now I've disappeared. Karen, where have you gone? Hello? Oh, there I am. I have no idea what I was doing, but clearly I waited too long, and they've hardened a little bit too much. So I'm fighting to get them into shape, but I do manage it, thank goodness. I have no idea what I was doing off camera. Answers in the comments, let me know, because I have no idea. This is the last bead. It's just a little bit of red. I'm so sorry that the camera is out of focus. It's on autofocus, and sometimes it focuses on the background instead of what I'm doing, and I'm really sorry, but literally all I did was put on a tiny bead of red. I didn't flatten it, just put it on, and then I stuck the crystal into it and then flattened it. That's all I did. But it's frustrating as heck when you watch it back and you notice it's out of focus, because when you're doing the nails, you do look up and make sure it's in focus every so often, but you know, when you're busy doing something, you get engrossed in it, you don't always notice. So yeah, all I can do is apologize, because I know when I watch it back, it just makes me want to cry. It's out of focus. It's so frustrating. But anywho, added crystals, and now it's time to seal that lovely design and make it shine. Oh yeah. Top coat. Oh, and it brings it to life. Look at that. Best part ever. Add your top coat, you know you finished then, and you get to see the final look. Look how pretty. Oh. I put some of the top coat underneath the two nails with the glitter tips, just in case, there were some gaps, because then it would give that kind of see-through look, even though I tried to fill up all the gaps, but you know what I mean. And I'm avoiding getting top coat onto my crystals and my 3D flower, so going with a detail brush, and this is it. This is the finished set. So I really hope you enjoyed this. It was a bit of graft, but I really wanted to share it with you guys. I had loads of people ask me to do it, so I've done it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you recreate it, please tag me. I'd love to see what you do. And I'm going to show you a quick photo of the first time I did it on my hands. But yeah, this was my little creation, and I was really happy with it, so there you go. Oh, I'm also showing you how I get the tips off so that I can keep them, and I used the old style Handolly, so it doesn't have sliding tips, and therefore I use nail guards on them, and literally I just prise them off gently. Anyway, thanks for watching, peeps. Take care, and I will speak to you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye now.